Oh, yes. You know what we got to do? You know we got to check it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, as they so do say. We've got to check that we've got some signal coming in. We will one day pluck up the courage to understand and know that we definitely have the Badger in and on and over here, and the Badger's got going. But just going to do the quick... Oh, yes, there we are. She's in, she's on, she's over here. Oh, my word. Before we get properly going here, I'm on Just Joe's at 8, so tune into Just Joe at 8. I'll be here for about half an hour. I was going to do a quick shit vid, but I thought this deserves a quick shit live. So I'll be here for about half an hour talking about the game last night, which was the most insane thing I have witnessed at Elland Road since the 7-0. So yes, Trey, Hip Hop, what's good? What a night, says Tim Flowers. It certainly was. Evening, Chris Gill. So without further ado, you know what time it is. Get that Badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. Legendary MVG. Absolutely, truth be told. That is why I was going to do a quick shit vid, but I've just been like, I went to work this morning and I've been like running about a bit, and I was just like, oh, I'll just have to go live about 6:30, I thought. So I've got my cup of tea. My eyes feel like, you know, and your cheeks are like heavy. But that's mainly just because I'm exhausted. But the tea will bring me around in the Dumbo cup. Nobody do it how we does it. Last night, I've got a couple of quick shots to do. Bumped into some boyos in the White Hart at top of Beeston Hill before we wandered down. So shout out to them lads. They never give me a name. So I said, well, they said, oh, give us a shout out on Joe's show. I thought, well, I can't really do it on Joe's show. I don't think they watch this show, but I'll do it on here anyway. But as I say, I went, well, what do you want me to shout out? And then they didn't say all. And then I thought, well, and then he said, I can't remember what he said. I'd have to ask my brother. There's an old footballer. I want to say Ravanelli or whatever you called him. That centre forward for Middlesbrough or whatever. They wanted to shout out. So I'm sure I'll bump into them next time. I always go in there before games anyway. So yeah, I'll find out more about them boys. But they seemed in good jest. And in good spirits for the most mental game, as I say, I have seen at Elland Road since the 7-0, which is how shit is as shit does at Elland Road at the minute. It's like we cannot be beat. It's a whirlwind, to be absolutely honest. It's so hard to sort of work out what on earth went on. I know the first start, I got a little bit frustrated during the second half, I think, but we were so dominant in the second half, so I felt a bit harsh. Then when you go on and get the win in the fashion that we did, that is, if you need any more proof that Faki isn't the man, then last night has to cement how much of an excellent manager he is, number one. Just on the basis, like, I know everybody don't like how long he waits for the substitutions and stuff. I think it were around 70 minutes still, wasn't it? Some bold choices, contentious choices, really, because people think bringing on a centre-back like Pascal, people think that's a negative move, when in reality, that's to get Ampadu into the middle, isn't it? And it just changes the whole dynamic of it. He brought Tanaka off, which I think is bold. He brought Gruev off, obviously put Struick in. Ampadu went into the middle, brought Dan James off, brought Solomon off, kept Peru on. I was quite happy he kept Peru on the basis that I don't think it was his fault. I have to say, he held his nerve, basically. But this proves, if you need any more from this side, everything we are showing now is champions of the championship, isn't it? Everything we are showing. There's not any doubt about the steel that's made of these boys, is it? We are rocking and rolling. It's like everything you see. So you think, I thought the 7-0, don't get better than that. And ultimately, in all seriousness, in terms of history, maybe this one lives as long in the memory as the 7-0. I don't know whether it does or not. I just know that everything that's happening to this club at the moment is awesome. We're still a long way off, so I don't want everybody to think that I'm just going crazy saying that we're off foot, but we are going up as champions, and last night is just totally cements it. Legendary MVG says, I don't usually watch fan cams, but I effing did for that game. Absolutely. Get up, says John. Nobody do it how he does it, Trey. You know we do how he does. Leeds are falling apart again. It's so funny when they started singing that Sunderland. Obviously, they got a good goal in the first half. Don't know whether it's so hard to tell sometimes whether or not it were against the run of the play or not. Genuinely, I think they were decent in first half, weren't they? You know, but I mean, just looking at stats here, we had 21 shots to their 6, only 4 on target though. In fairness, I want to discuss before we get stuck into like the absolute mint stuff. Ampadu getting rolled now. It's such an interesting topic, this, because he's got caught out and it looks like absolutely horrendous defending, and it is. But he's guided, he's been rolled, he's guided the centre forward, and who is a decent player, has to be said as well. But there's touch tight, isn't there, like super tight, or you've got to just drop off. You've got to like make him turn into you, turn on the ball, and then he's facing up to you. But he just applies a bit of pressure on his shoulder, and he just guides the dude. I can't, what's he called? Isidore or whatever he's called. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Isidore, yeah. Just guides him. And then once he's done Ampadu's trying to drag him back, and it's too late by then. Now, the problem is, the reason why I'm starting with that is because I'll get pelters for suggesting that I think Ampadu and Rodon is the best partnership in the Championship at the club. I don't know whether Struijk gets rolled there or not. I'm not really bothered. But my point would be about Ampadu. It's more on the ball that I'm on about when they're the best partnership. Him and Rodon don't really concede many goals. When Pascal came on, I thought he were obviously excellent. Ends up getting 2 wild goals. Like, you could have never in a million months of Sundays predicted that. But yeah, it's just interesting, you know. What a night, says Mark Bradley. He just gets rolled. It's terrible defending, but he's just caught in between the two to go and win the ball. Puts his foot out, basically puts his foot out, and then the lad's there first. It's just not tight enough. He needed to just stay away from him, let the lad turn on ball, face him up, and then he's got to actually beat him. And then, you know, like me and my brothers were saying, then, you know, unless he's Messi, turning on you like that, and then beating you one-on-one's going to be much harder, like in and around box. Meslier is obviously not at fault. Enough at post. I thought it was slightly lucky finish, but obviously, to be fair, you can't really say it's a lucky finish on the basis that, you know, enough at post is enough in it, full stop. So, Chris Gill says, didn't get any shut-eye till 2 a.m. Yeah, it was mental. It was, honestly, I might as well just talk about, I will talk about the goals, and I just wanted to get the Ampadu stuff out of the way. But before we do, we might as well talk about the atmosphere. I don't know if any of you boys were at Elland Road last night, but I can honestly say, from the first minute, the crowd were well up for it. I went with my 2 brothers as well, which is mint. It's not often we can all get to games. Obviously, they've got a lot of commitments and stuff, as we all do. So it's hard for us all to get to the game, and then obviously you've got to get the tickets and what have you. But we managed to pull it off. So I mean, one of my brothers was meant to be stood in cop somewhere else, but we all just huddled round in the same position. But I don't like saying limbs, right? So it's a total blur. I don't like saying limbs because it seems a little bit like stereotypically like, oh yeah, well limbs, wasn't it? Like, you know, I feel like I'm trying to be down with kids saying limbs or something. But it was total limbs. I mean, my brother ended up actually down by the pitch. Is actually the screenshot of this is actually from Sky Sports. You know, my cover photo for the video, like the thumbnail. That's actually my brother. He burst down because basically he couldn't get hold of me or my brother. I had Big Sean who I sit next to as well, so we were all just going in. But to be honest, I didn't. Obviously, initially the second goal, I can't even remember the first goal. I've watched it back, and you know it goes in. But I kept saying to my brother, he kept having a go at me, so I don't feel like a win. I didn't get any of the euphoric feeling because it was just so mental. It was just like a massive blur. Because obviously we scored with 5 seconds to go, didn't we? I think the second goal, did the second goal come in the 90th? That was in the 90th as well, wasn't it? So the second goal was in the 95th minute. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, is the first goal's in the 78th minute? I thought it was towards end of game. That's crazy. So there was 10 minutes to go when the second goal went in. Is that right? That's what I mean. It was a mess. Absolute blur. But Rothwell to come on and change the game like he did, it's unbelievable. The touch for the second goal and then to whip it in. I was saying this on the way home. I was blabbing on drunk, but Rothwell was playing a completely different game in them seconds. Every now and again, you need players that are so confident in their ability. They're not any which way even remotely worried about anything else that's going on the pitch. He's not thinking whether it's the first minute, the 40th minute, the 5th, the 95th minute. It doesn't matter if it's 1-1 to Sunderland, who are a proper decent side in Championship, or we're 4-0 up to Cardiff in last minute. It just doesn't matter. The touch and to cross it in, to deliver it, that is total just like repetition, just like he believes he can deliver the ball. It's a perfect delivery, how he whips it in. It's so perfect. He had an interview which were pretty mint after the game, and he was saying that, he were a bit, not frustrated because he were only messing about. We're all tongue-in-cheek. Farker's interview were really good as well, which I'll talk about in a minute. But Rothwell was just a bit tongue-in-cheek, but he was sort of saying, he thought it was going in, and Pascal, could have like left it to go in type of thing. But in fairness, having watched it back, I don't think it is going in, and I know he's only joking. He won't care even remotely. It's also interesting to think, that does that state a claim for him really? Because against a better side, I honestly, and I know it's easy in hindsight, and I thought that he'd go with Gruev and Tanaka in middle, and he did. And I know it's easy in hindsight, but Rothwell makes a massive case for getting himself in starting lineup there, doesn't he? The assist for the cross onto Pascal's head, and the joke is as well, guys. Anybody that does watch the channel a fair amount will know that I always say there is a joke on the channel where I say if Rothwell ain't taking it and Pascal ain't heading it, it's not off anywhere near net. And we have been saying that, have we not, on this channel, boys, for months, all season, even last year before Rothwell were here. But it was like if Pascal's not winning header from corner, it's not going in. And if it goes over his head, it's not off in. If it goes, don't reach him, it's not off in. He's the only one that can actually get on. And to be fair to him, I know he missed his pen against Thing and that, but he shouldn't be on pens anyway. But he is capable of two big goals last night, but just in general, he is capable of a big goal, or he does chip in, doesn't he? A fair amount does Pascal. But yeah, two mint headers really. I know last one's just can't miss, but bullets it in. But you can't. I also think when you deliver a ball like that, and I don't want to be too over the top about it, because I'm aware I'm not making the comparison between Rothwell and fucking Kevin De Bruyne, or Rothwell and Trent Alexander or whatever. But a delivery is it's just a delivery, as in the ball that was perfection in that moment, wasn't it? The ball. It's like if you hit a 180, nobody in the world in them last 3 darts could have hit it any better. Do you know what I mean? So it is on that De Bruyne hype, that ball. He just can't obviously replicate it as often as De Bruyne, or from as many angles as De Bruyne. But you knew when Rothwell took that touch, and I know it's easy in hindsight, you knew God was with you. It was just like, this ball is off on somebody will be here. It's like, I actually mean that when you deliver, and I know from just a really shit level, delivering a wicked ball, somebody's going to win the header. It's like you can't miss. It's very instinctive, I think. Honestly, I think everything aligns when you whip a ball in like that. I honestly do. I think that. Even though obviously you could put a ball in, you could argue, and then, it'll get cleared or whatever. But I just think when it's on, that was off in. Rothwell was delivering that ball beautifully, and it was off in. It couldn't be missed. It had gone in another way had it not been strike. Just crazy. But honestly, I got pounded from the back. So, because we was obviously all crammed in, all three of us, because there's only really, 2 seats for us. So we were sort of crammed in. I went over frontways, so I celebrated the second goal, went over frontways, and obviously your knees are right knocking on the chairs, aren't they? So I went tipping over, really quite bad. I had to put the seat down in front of me, obviously bend the seat down, put my hands on it to regain my composure while still trying to celebrate, because I'm still in the zone. We have won the game. Turned around then to think, well, I'll be safer. I can block any attack sort of coming, and then celebrate upwards, and that didn't work. And then I don't know what happened then behind me, but I won't have turned fully, but I think somebody came from honestly, it was mental. So then I got pushed, it was mental. I ended up on Sean's back more or less, I just jumped on him. John had gone literally down to the front trying to get hold of Joseph. He said he were literally piggybacking this guy, just all over him at front. It was honestly absolute scenes, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I can honestly say the roar was, if there'd have been a roof, the roof would have been blown off. It was absolutely immense. And I thought the fans were amazing all the way through the game. It didn't even really get that raggy. I think everybody was aware of like the enormity of the match. And it didn't actually get that angry. Sometimes the fans can get, including me, and I'm not excluding myself from it, but you can get a little bit like tetchy and stuff. But I just think everybody knew that we were actually playing really well in the second half. And the goal did feel like it was coming at one point. I can't remember the minutes, but I think it must have been around 60 minutes where they just could not get out of their own half. They couldn't even get out of their own box. We were winning absolutely every second ball, every third ball. It was a joy to behold. The atmosphere was the best it's been. This is what I've been saying as well all season about, everybody saying, oh, atmosphere's gone at Elland Road, it's turned to shit atmosphere. Well, no, there's been no jeopardy in games and we've been expected to win. And when we 1-0 down, not a single fan, or I certainly didn't see a single fan leaving Elland Road. Like, we were all staying to end. And I didn't know the goal went in the 95th minute. That's how consumed I was in the game. That's what I mean. You knew it was on the horizon. You knew something were happening. Tremendous stuff. John Shaw's say, I live in Thailand, so I don't get to games. Was last night better than Leicester last year? I didn't go to Leicester last year, dude. I had to work. I watched it in pub. But apparently everybody said that was amazing, the Leicester game. But the best last year for me were Norwich in the semi-final. But that was last night. The Norwich game before the game was better than last night. I thought the Norwich game in that semi-final before that game was so mental. Honestly, it was insane. But like during the game, there's no competition really for me. Last night was, that last 10 minutes is as mental as it can get anywhere in the world. I'm being deadly serious. That is when you prove like how mint we are as a fan base. It was honestly bedlam. Like, people basically scrapping. Everybody was everywhere. There were legs everywhere, arms everywhere. It was like protect yourself at all time, honestly. I felt like, if we hadn't all been Leeds fans, there'd have been people scrapping, because it was going off. It was so mental. Like, our Dave's got like, he's actually got a bit of a bad leg and stuff, so he could barely, we'd all picked up an injury on the way back. So obviously leaving ground, walking into Beeston to get a lift. And it's, literally all limping uphill with Berger and that. Just, I couldn't shut up about that Rothwell delivery though. I think I was doing everybody's head in with it, but I just thought it was, honestly, Rothwell for me has been a beast. What a signing he's been. Farke holding his nerve with it, brings him on. It were crying out for him. Farke actually made what Dorigo and sort of made to seem as though Farke were joking about what he said. I wanted Rothwell on to deliver the ball and Pascal to win some headers. Basically, we were delivering a lot of balls into the box, but they laughed because obviously that sounds silly. You don't bring a centre back on to go on and get you 2 goals, do you? But ultimately, with what we've said before on the channel, if Rothwell's not delivering it and Pascal Strike's not heading it, we're not scoring from it. So it kind of is true. And then when he comes on and does it twice, it's like, well, the proof is well and truly in the pudding, innit? I've seen that Clem Fandango. Yeah, they said that they went too negative and stuff, but we were just all over them in the second half. They were decent in the first half. They came and had a go. I thought their fans were pretty good value, to be fair. There seemed to be plenty of banter going on. Meslier silent S at end as well, apparently. I mean, I've seen just a screenshot of it, but he runs across with finger over ear, to give it big licks at Sunderland fans, because I would imagine, obviously, they're at other end to me, but I would imagine they were giving Meslier silent S a fair bit of stick, so I'm sure he'll have enjoyed that, because obviously with big miss. I can't believe Farke got booked as well. I don't know what he got booked for. Like, he got booked for celebrating, obviously, but he didn't do all, did he? He just went and slid on the floor to me. I thought Bogle's celebration were really funny as well, because obviously everybody were charging over, and he just sort of they all went into the crowd and he just started sliding. I thought it was pretty funny, but not even on his knees or whatever. He just sort of fell over. I just thought, must have been, that is truly, I mean, that puts us 2 points back, obviously, in front of Sheffield United, 7 in front of Burnley, and 10 in front of Sunderland. It's obviously, from 7 to 10, but it would have been, if they'd have got the victory, obviously it'd have been 6-5-4. You're talking 4 points. So that's how much, I mean, I know the familiar phrase, it's a 6-pointer, but that is a 6-pointer, isn't it? So they've gone to 10 points now. I think it puts them out at championship charge, to be honest, in general. I cannot see the steel that this brings, honestly, like the winning mentality, the fact that we just don't ever give up. This has got to ring through the whole squad now, just to points where it's, if it ain't 7-0, and I don't want it to be last minute all the time, but against a really good side like Sunderland, there is no better way to win, really. I thought there were no better way to win than 7-0, and there's some arguments for that. But there's some arguments to say a last minute winner against Sunderland is the way to go. Leeds in Shetland says, if we do it next Monday, then I think we're on the home run with less stress. I agree. This sounds insane, but I'd have rather lost, not now, but I'd rather lost last night than I would to Sheffield, just on the basis that, you know, it keeps everybody sort of moving away from us. Because Sheffield's a bigger game, then we could have retaken the lead. But now it's just over to us again, you know, to put in a decent shift. You take a draw really at Sheffield now, even though obviously a win would be amazing. Tracer's definitely going up, just saying, love it. Mark Edison, it's because of the Badger that LUFC are playing so well. I bloody well hope so, Mark. Did you get to the game last night, mate? But I bloody well hope so. The Badger, man, honestly. Mark Hemingway says, best night ever. Such a tense night. Gone from pulling my hair out to screaming and singing, lost my voice. Rolling Premier League. Honestly, man. Yeah, Chris Gill says, first time Farker went mental, even fell on his ass. He actually said in his interview as well, like, you know, it's not normally like him to sort of celebrate in that fashion, but, you know, the game got hold of him. And to be fair, you know, like, legendary, but I mean, there was you could just see how happy we were, buzzing in it. How can you not be? It's like the team are really showing the steel that we've got. You know, we are solid now. We are fully in full flight, in full championship charge. We want to get to the Premier League at this point, and we're showing everything. Massive wins, big away wins now, last minute winners, like 1-0 down with however many minutes, 10 minutes to go, whatever it was. Farker holding his nerve, getting Rothwell on, bold with substitutions, Ampadu getting into centre midfield and not losing his head after the first initial mistake in the first half. Everybody remained calm and cool, and we didn't start rushing, we didn't start launching ball long, even though we didn't. I felt it in first half, we didn't seem 110% like at it. I didn't feel like we were zipping ball about or, you know, looked, well, good. But, you know, to be able to then come out in the second half, because my brother was just saying, just get him in now, get him in at half time, let my man Facker have a word with him, and then, you know, go from there with it. Amazing. We are on the charge now. Cragger, even at half time, I knew we would find a way to come back. That's the faith I have in this team at the moment. Love it, Leeds. That's what I mean, Cragger, 100%. Mark Edison, Struick would not have been rolled. However, for the future, we need a top left back for Struick to be great. Centre half. I don't know whether he gets rolled or not, but as bad as defending as it is from Ampadu, it's well, it is what it is. But I am Andy, but I'm allowed to go live whenever I want on this channel. It's pretty cool like that. Mark Bradley says, managed to get to the game. Funny thing is, a lot of mourning, a bucket full of most games, then crazy at end football. And indeed, MVG, you've got it. It was a great result. A rather fortuitous win for Leeds. A gamble by Farker that paid off. Want fortuitous. Get them likes smashed for us, guys. Much appreciated. There's 140 in room, boys. I don't know whether I'm onto a record here. So if you would smash us a like, it'd be much appreciated. Get that algorithm ticking over for me. They all had a pretty mint interview, to be fair. Rothwell's got a mint interview. Farker's got a mint interview. Farker loves Ampadu, doesn't he? I really, you know, he was on about him. He always calls him my captain, my skipper, or whatever he calls him in his little weird voice and his little sexualised voice. But he does love him. He did want him straight back into the centre midfield, and, you know, it's more than shoring things up. And we needed, I think it was bold bringing off who he brought off. And then he kept, rather than, because, you know, a lot of time he gets pillar to post about, you know, launching every single striker on that we had and stuff. And obviously to bring a centre back on, as I say, does seem like a negative move, really, but it's not, is it? I think you wanted the ball to land somebody like Peru, didn't you? If you'd have given him a chance, he'd have scored last night. It's just how it is, so he kept him on. difficult. He actually even said, he doubted himself with some substitutions that he made. Like with centre back, he said, it was a bit like, well, I'm bringing on a centre half here, but I think if Burnley draws on Friday, that will dictate what midfield we go with. I can't really, as much as I think Gruev's been brilliant and it's away from home against Sheffield, I think actually that debugs it a little bit. I think we're better off against the shitter sides. I think we can go with Gruev in the middle because it makes us that Gruev can be more expressive on the ball and shores it up more against the counter-attack and stuff. But when we're actually playing against a decent side, there's an argument to say just trust Rothwell in there. We're going to have plenty of ball still. I don't know, to be fair, what possession stats were like. 66% possession we had, so, that's extremely dominant, isn't it? I did think Sunderland came to have a go, though. Their fans were pretty, I've heard some stuff on TalkSport, and their fans were pretty cool, really, to be fair, about us on way home, just saying that we're best team in the league and stuff, and we are, aren't we? There's no doubt about it. I know, Andy, that's what I'm saying, but I'd go... Alison Adams says Pascal should start, Ethan back in midfield. Yeah, I think when Pascal's fully fit, which, where he was celebrating, he looked like he was certainly fully fit. I think it will go back to that, which I'm up for. I am Alison, yeah. I sit Nate corner flag. Directly in line with the line at corner flag. The left corner flag, so where they all came to celebrate last night for the second goal, that's where I am pretty much. My brother made his way to the front. I can never run down to the thing, but my brother said he was left with no choice. We were getting pushed out of the seating area, and it was just like, I've just got to go down there and get in on and over here with it. So I'm not at the moment, Mark, but I'm hoping to. Me and my brothers are on about trying to get a ticket, but if I'm not, I'll be doing a live watch along for it. Matt Bradley says, love Rothwell, but don't think he's great at the dirty stuff. I just think it's a trust thing, though. We were discussing it last night, and I think really you can... I think you can trust him to do enough of it. It were crying out for him last night, that game. It really was. And, he came on and did it, didn't he? Well, it's nature at beast, Andy, that, isn't it? Just had a super chat come through. Legendary MVG has bought 10 memberships. Honestly, man, you are such a legend. Nobody do it how he does it, truly. I don't know how you do it, but you do it how he does it. So, shout out to Legendary MVG. You're honestly as legendary as it seems. CR81. I can't catch up on comments here, boys, but one step beyond Jack from Dublin. Oh my God, what a night, King Pascal. I know, man. I was buzzing for him as well because, as daft as it sounds, getting back from injury and stuff, it's like, you do, even as a centre back, don't you? You want some big moments in games, and that it just don't get any more mental than that. Last minute jobby like that is... I can't tell you how mint Elland Road was last night from the first minute. I knew it was going to be good, and 8 o'clock kickoff under lights, and everybody bangs on about that. But that is a thing, isn't it? When night kickoffs, when floodlights are on and stuff. It was freezing cold though, really, really was cold. Mr. Dodo, what's good? It was bitter cold. Last night, as bad as it gets, started with my brother's got these things that you crack and they keep your hands warm, and I was reluctant at first, and then I actually needed them myself, to be fair. So I don't even, it just becomes, it's so hard to understand what is going on there. So other than the goals, I can't even remember a chance or what, and I've watched highlights back and I'm just I just don't even know. Never knew it was coming. It's just too much. Agreed, Cragger. Yeah, it's. I just wish I wish I could have been in the moment a little bit more. It's so hard to live in the moment, isn't it? But I can't explain it. It was so surreal. It was so surreal. There was a lot going on, though. There really was a lot going on, and everybody was getting, you could feel it coming, so it was building like a biatch, and it was like, when this goes, as I say, it's every man for themselves. Shout out to legendary MVG. Chris Frost, Leeds fan forever, gifted. Ian Stevens, James Wood, Borban Yeti, Lisa Moo, Nige D, Strange Name, Sydney Loiner, Donna Lioness, and Gibber 2376. You've all been gifted a membership by the legendary MVG, who is as legendary as the MVG. Mr. Dodo, I'm going around watching Sunderland fans react on their live stream to that goal, and it's feeding me for the next week. Yeah, when Mez Silent S went running over, because they will have been giving him a lot of stick when he went running over. That must not have gone down very well, to be fair. Brutal. But I was buzzing for Mez as well, because he must have thought when the first goal went in, like, Sunderland's going to be his bogey team this year. And to be fair, we have in previous years had bogey teams, haven't we? Sort of around, like Southampton were, did us over every time. That's obviously gone now. So, Sunderland, you'd argue, if they'd have done us over last night 1-0, that'd have been, 4 points from them, and really, apart. I mean, that you could have argued in the first half they deserved that 1-goal lead. I'm not too sure that's true. I'd have to sort of watch the whole game again, but was Rothwell's left foot shot going in? I don't think it was, to be fair. Galvanised, Mark Eddy, love it. Exactly that, Mark Hemmington. Yeah, we've got Hemingway. Sorry, dude. Obviously, going into Sheffield, that's the last. I mean, Middlesbrough might be a bit sticky. They might be pushing for promotion, but then it really is over to us, isn't it? I'm really super confident. I've been confident for weeks, but this game's results like that last night are just, if they don't say everything that you need to know about this side or Farker's football, you've lost your marbles. So it's Sheffield Monday. West Brom, Portsmouth could do with getting his own back on them. Millwall, QPR, Swansea, Luton, been terrible. Middlesbrough, Preston, Oxford, Stoke, Bristol, Plymouth. I think it could be done by the Oxford game. 4 games to go. I honestly think 4 games to go, we could be in a position, in a promotion position. Whether or not we've got the championship tied up there, I don't know. But, already 7 points off Burnley. 10 points off Sunderland. Sunderland, I never thought were going to catch us, even if they'd beat us last night. I think it's between us and Sheffield. But, I mean, they were on how many games is that now? 15, 16 games. We've won the last 4, drawn the 5th of them. Drawn 9 games, only lost 3 games. Goal difference, 48. Crazy. Absolutely flying. Yes, Chickers, what's good, brother? The Mackie Cabin. The Mackham Cabby, what's good, laddie? All right. It's very kind of you to come in and not be a knobhead. I thought your fans were mint last night, man, so I don't know if you got to the game, but I thought, they were bang at it, and, they seemed like there were loads here. So, and it's commendable, because we do have some sides that come, fans that turn up that are, the Millwalls of the world that think they bring this crazy atmosphere to Elland Road, and then they're like quiet as mice. So, legend for jumping in and saying that, man. But yeah, and I'm not just saying this because you might have gone by now, but I'd rather you went up than Burnley or Sheffield. So I'd rather you come up with us. Mackie, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, I used to like Sunderland back in Kevin Phillips days. Niall Quinn, spoke about him actually on some underlaps on this show, man. So yeah, yeah. I hope there's my YouTube still all right here. No, they won't. We're not. I can't. We are going to lose a game come end of the season, because we just are. But I just don't know where it's coming from. Sheffield's a big one. Yeah, I'd like it if my promotion would be us and Sunderland, and then I don't really care. I wouldn't want Sheffield up. I'd probably then go Burnley maybe from playoffs. But I think Sunderland. I think it'll end as it is. I mean, whether West Brom, Coventry, they might have it out for final playoff place, but Blackburn, Sunderland, Burnley are all going to make. Well, Sunderland and Burnley have already made playoffs. Really, Sunderland could afford to start resting players for playoffs by the looks of it. It's a crazy gap. 62 points Sunderland are on, and then Coventry on 47. Who are in 7th place. So to get out at playoffs, you're talking. Can't be asked doing that math. 57. It's best part of 15 points. It's wild. Agreed, man. Yeah, there were some days. Yeah, they are. That's what I mean, Mark. They were mint last night. Proper, full of beans, like I say, coming and bringing atmosphere. And it does help. You know, the Mackham cabbie might not want to hear it, but I think it helps our side as well when the away fans are loads of fun and like bang up for it. I think it helps get everybody up for it. I think it gets our fans up for it. So as silly as it sounds, you know, you're probably better off not taking as many and keeping it quiet, because we go up a level. We feel like it goes up a notch when they're away fans, because also you're quite keen to keep them shut up. So when they're really singing, the Leeds fans really get the chants going and stuff. So it does add to the atmosphere. And you know when they score, it's like, because that's when it does go silent. And Sunderland lot sounded like they were going absolutely mental in that their other side. But, you know, it was a rip-roaring roar, so fair play. I'm staying off the Cronenbergs tonight, WFIA. I'll have a few tomorrow for underlap. I'm out on Thursday with my mates for his leaving do, so I'm going steady this week, so I've had a bit of a weekend with it. Mark Bradley handing out some memberships. We've got another legend up in this bitch. Lee Radley, which is nearly your second name, Mark. Craig Miles, Fred McKeown, Andy C, and Ryan Pawala Higgins. You've all been gifted memberships by I nearly said legendary Mark Bradley then, but I can't call you the legendary Mark Bradley because we've got a legendary MVG in here, so I need to write you boys down to make sure that you get your shout outs. Legendary MVG, Mark Bradley. I think that maybe gets me to 100 members, boys, which is mental. They are all gifted from Hummers 11, Legendary MVG, Mark Bradley, Ming, etc. But yeah, still. Yes, Revy, what's good? What's an Iris's punch? Burnley or Coventry for playoffs, says Andy Rowe. Coventry aren't even in it yet. Coventry won't go up, I don't think. I think Sunderland can do it. It's only Burnley, and Burnley can't do all but draw games, to be fair. WFIA says Burnley don't deserve it. Honestly, I'd be inclined to agree with that, to be fair, dude. Like, what? You know, how many more games can you draw before, you know? I mean, it's so boring, isn't it? You know, got 30. I mean, the goal difference is actually better than Sheffield, but only because they've only conceded 9 goals. They've scored 39. It's really bad. It's only just slightly more than a goal a game. That, you know, for a team that wants promotion, they've drawn so many games. 14 games. They've drawn 3 of the last 5 games. We're not here to talk about Burnley anymore. We don't care about Burnley, do we? They're nowhere near us now. We don't have to play them again. That's what I was saying as well, with people worrying about other teams strengthening and that. Did you look at Sunderland last night? And if the Mackim's still in here, apologies, big lad, but I don't know why we all got such in a pickle about the team strengthening around us. It doesn't really matter. We're not in competition with them teams. Even if Sunderland have caught up to us a little bit, and now I hope they have, you know, they can go on a run and up. I do want them to go up. I'd take it even through playoffs. Obviously, I don't want them to take our spot, championship. But even if they're catching up to us in terms of the squad and stuff, it doesn't matter. We're not in competition with them now. We need to go ahead and win our games. We've just done Sunderland, dispelled that myth that they're better than us now, because people were going on about the squads and stuff. I thought Bogle were brilliant, and against that Lefebvre, who's obviously a decent player, I thought he kept him largely, extremely quiet, to be honest. So You know, and there's also a thing with Bogle that he apparently can't defend, and it's all Sheffield fans that say that. Be interesting to see, you know, if Bogle can defend against Sheffield on Monday, which I'm sure he can. I didn't think Firpo had his best game, to be fair, but as I say, it was such a strange game, really. And then in the second half, it was so compact, and we were flying. We weren't flying forward. We were just controlling. We just literally had them pinned in. It was, intense. What a win, says LUFC Passion. Place erupted. Absolutely, man. Macam Cabby says, when you go up, do you think you'll need to strengthen much? I think we'll definitely need some. We'll need a few in. But I don't think we have to go that crazy. But I think it'll be, you know, in survival mode. I don't think it'll be an easy year. If we get off to a good start, obviously, 10 games in, you want to be 10th. If you're 10 games in and you're 10th, you probably can go on that shit spell that you go on and get battered. The worry is you take the battering right at the start. You want to just get off to a decent start, don't you, in Prem? And then you can just sort of eke your way through to end of season, and then it really will be a building jobby the year after, because I think that's when it'll really kick in. Much like it did when we first went up, to be fair, with Bielsa, and we really need to strengthen in that second year. And obviously didn't. And then it all went, you know, a little bit tits up. And then we got that idiot American in. I don't know if he put the kit on, did he, Mark? But I know he was on about it. Yeah, he was marching about, loving it, wasn't he? I am, Dan. Yes, it's on at 8, so it's on in half an hour. So I'll be off straight over there after this. So I'll see you at Just Joe's show, dude. Soiled, and a soiled result last night. The church was rocking that much. The steeple fell off marching on together. That's what I'm saying, man. If they want a soiled roof on there, the soiled roof would have come off, man. Unbelievable. Bogle had him in his pockets as arse ripper. My liver and onion pizza has arrived. Sounds horrendous, dude. Enjoy it, Macam Cabby. Cheers for tuning in, man. We could do with more northern teams in the Premier League. As long as we're in there. You just like Lampard. That's what it is, Andy, don't you? I always knew you were a Lampard fan. Yeah. I mean, they can't take it easy, Pat. Cheers for tuning in, man. We can't all be in Prem though, can we? They do this on TalkSport every day, where they say, "Oh, Leeds deserve to be in Prem," and I think we do. But then they'll go, "Sunderland deserve to be in Prem," and Notts Forest deserve to be in Prem. They've got big history, and Everton deserve it, and these deserve it. West Ham deserve it, and every team seems to deserve it, and at some point, it just has to be the people that deserve it are in the league, aren't they? Keep this squad and buy 7 to 8 top players. I think that's a huge ask, Eddie. I think it's hard work to get 7 or 8 top players. Bet a few Leeds lads got their spam javelins tossed over by their better half when they got home. Lasses dishing out the wrist actions like a 90s raver. Read it out as well, chickers. Perfectly put. Bogled egg on toast. Love it. AO says it depends. If we're looking to just stay up in the Premier League with a few signs you need, but if we're looking to compete for the Premier League and get a 5th spot, we'll need to sign 8 or 9 new players. I don't think we're looking to win it or compete for the Premier League or get 5th spot in first year up, though. AO, I think that is an enormous ask. I think let's just focus on literally on surviving. If we can finish 10th to 15th in first season, I think I think that's pretty good going. It'll be decent. Do smash a like for us, guys. And if you want to help us out, if you type in that to my into YouTube and go subscribe, I'm going to be putting videos out like every day in the next couple of weeks about my music and that, so that'd be much appreciated. Harvey925, we've got another Sunderland fan. Sunderland fan here. That's how champions win games. It's as simple as that. My head was gone when I seen that second goal go in. but respect Leeds playing some exciting football and actually watchable. Harvey, we've had another Sunderland fan. I'm starting to like Sunderland fans. You've all been pretty cool about it. Thank you for turning up to Elland Road and actually trying to play and making it a decent night. You know, and I know you ended up losing the game, but it takes two to tango, doesn't it? And Sunderland came to play, and everybody thoroughly enjoyed the game. You had your moment, you know, at Elland Road. And I don't mean that patronisingly. I just mean, you know, literally, like, you know, you were 1-0 up for a long spell of the game. But I just think we're extremely strong now. Harvey, Leeds are. We're in full flight. We are charging for the championship now. It's like I just can't see how we're gonna drop points, and I know we are, but we're just flying at the moment. Nick L, UFC 1919 evening Jack, great win last night, matched on together. Get up, crazy. Andy Jones, great night last night. I'm still recovering from a bloody hangover and drinking JT's beer in between my John Smiths. Matched on together. Lisa says yes. Beetlebugs, third best team in the North East. Got a spanking, happy days. Boys and Bob, yes, Mingy. Hey up, Ming. There he is, still reeling, Ming. Get up. Sensational performance. But yeah, guys, I'm going to do one because I'm off on Jersey in 20 minutes, so I'm going to prepare for that ever so slightly, and I don't want to be everybody thinking that I'm coming on these lives and boring you for too long. So we did a 4.5 hour stint on the underlap last week, last Thursday. There will be another underlap tomorrow. The underlap will be tomorrow at, should we say, 8 o'clock? Did everybody enjoy 8 p.m. last time? So the underlap will be on at 8 p.m. tomorrow. I think yes, Spawn Leeds, buzzing. Good to see you in here, brother. If you do want to join us at 8 p.m. tomorrow, the underlap was a marathon last week. I don't think it'll go on 4.5 hours. I don't see how I can do that every week. Can't be that much to talk about, but you boys are mental in the chat, so it just goes wherever you boys want the chat to go, I suppose. Yeah, sorted. Take it easy. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Ina. As I say, I'm on Joe's at 8, guys, so don't leave a brother hanging. Get over to Joe's show. It's a real nice treat. It's a good place to be. He's a good lad, and he deserves all the views he gets. So take it easy, everybody. In a bit.